I'm Jeff Philbin, delivering delightful dinner ideas here every day. And today, we're celebrating seafood and sandwiches with a coconut crusted grouper on a potato bun. Plus, we use yuzu in a side salad. And from meals to mixology, we'll share a special end of summer cocktail. In the kitchen today, a returning visitor to Dinner DeeAs, Chef David Reyes, classically trained in France, Mexico, and across the U.S., and now shaping the menu at St. Pete's Trail Garden, which is part of the St. Pete Distillery. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me again.
I am so excited to have you here because you've also been paying a few visits to some rum reserves for the recipe that we're making today, because Chef David is sharing how he makes a coconut-crusted grouper sandwich with time for a salad using a yuzu vinaigrette, and shows off his mastery of mixology by making an end-of-summer cocktail all within 30 minutes.
All within 30 minutes?
Let's
and
do
with
it,
a
dude.
little bit of rum.
And just a little bit of rum. Who doesn't love rum? It's just like, it's a fun one. It's just like the party.
It is. Who doesn't like rum? I mean, so we're going to start. There's two things today that I love that we're going to make. They can live in your fridge. The tartar sauce.
Okay.
And the part of the cocktail that's a syrup.
Okay.
Essentially. Those two can live in your fridge for quite some time.
So this has got great use, so that way then it's not just this whole meal and only for this meal.
No.
Save it, use it again some other time, have some fun with it. So we've got to get this simple sugar going first. So what do we got?
So a 1-to-1 ratio, water to sugar. Let that kind of just dissolve in the hot water. You're going to drop in the hibiscus.
Now, hibiscus, like a lot of people are going to say, hey, I've got hibiscus in my tea, but I'm never really buying it raw. Where, how, what?
Well, it's best to get it dry.
Okay.
It's a great ingredient, dry. It's very stable. My favorite stores to get it in are a lot of the area Asian markets tend to have it. Whole Foods tends to have it. Outside of that, it could be a little hard to find, but you know, Amazon. Okay,
Amazon can come in through the clutch if you can't find it from a local Asian market.
Yep.
And what kind of flavors will that hibiscus give? Because it's already starting to start to bloom here.
The color is intense. The flavor is quite fruity. The cinnamon gives it a little bit of zest, if you will, a little spice. So this is a great kind of syrup just to impress your friends when they come over, make them a very simple craft cocktail, and it looks great.
I love that because you see so many drink recipes that say, you know, hey, just add your simple sugar. It's like, yeah, sure, that's just sugar and water. But here, sugar, water, hibiscus, cinnamon. There's so much more behind it with just that little bit more of a touch of flavor there.
Yeah.
Because to grab Chef David's directions for this delicious drink and dinner coming up, visit dinnerdeas.com or save the time by typing it all out. You don't need to do that. Just use your camera app on your phone to scan the QR code in the corner. Just frame it up as if you're about to take a photo, and a link to us should appear on your phone. So this has just got to do its thing.
Set it, let it steep. You can cool it. Otherwise, just leave it on the counter, let it cool.
Okay. And just waiting for that sugar just to dissolve with all that hot water.
Yep.
Perfect. What's next then?
So next we're going to make a tartar sauce. Now, you could easily just go to the store and buy a tartar sauce, but nothing matches making one at home. Especially if you can control the ingredients and add the things you really like. I love pickles. I love dill pickles.
You love dill pickles. If you didn't have dill pickles, you didn't.
Bread and butter pickles.
It can work. So pickles.
Spicy pickle. Any kind of pickle.
Yeah.
I think that's the base of this. We're going to add some capers. Some chopped scallions, a little bit of red onion. Go ahead and start adding those ingredients.
All right, so we're going pickles in, and we're just using mayo as a base here?
Mayo as a base. So this is about 1.5 cups of mayo, a couple teaspoons of pickles, some capers, a little bit of some scallion, red onion, and then some salt and pepper. Now, my favorite part of this recipe, other than the pickles, is adding a little hot sauce. And this is just
to your preference, you want to it there. So we've got a sriracha sauce. If you want to use something that's a little bit more vinegar based, you can obviously do that too. So we'll just probably just a little bit?
That looks good to me.
That looks good to you?
So we're gonna add some mustard.
Now, do you like it spicy?
I love it spicy.
All right, sounds good.
So we're gonna mix this up.
And you just added just a dollop of mustard. What type of mustard do you use for this?
So I like to use Dijon mustard. Grain mustard is great with this. I mean, again, that's the beauty of tartar sauce. You know, you make it as layered with flavor as you'd like, or as simple as you'd like. You're going to find that this is a really great accompaniment to a lot of things, not just fish. You could have this as a side to your steak. You could have it as a side to pork. I mean, there's a lot of things, especially when you add in the ingredients we add in the quantities that we did, I mean, you could see it's a very chunky tartar sauce. I love this recipe. So we're going to use it to make this slaw.
Okay.
And this slaw is based with Brussels sprouts.
Nice.
As the base. So we're going to add the Brussels sprouts. We're going to add some pineapple.
And all you did with the Brussels sprouts, you just shaved them down, or if you if you didn't have a mandolin, just really nice cuts with a knife.
Correct.
Okay.
Some stores have Brussels sprouts already cut.
Yep.
So that's an easy way to get dinner
Get
going.
around that corner too if you needed to.
Right. We're going to add some red onion, a splash of a little bit more lemon juice, rice wine vinegar. We're layering on a few more flavors. And finally, a little bit of cilantro and a nice heaping spoonful of this tartar sauce. Actually, we're going to go with 2 heaping spoonfuls.
Nice.
So this is something you can prepare ahead of time.
Okay.
It could sit in the fridge for even a few days.
Very nice. Do you need the honey too?
Yes, we're going to finish with a little bit of honey.
That's the finishing touch to it there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I like to get my hands in my food. I don't
So
know
you like
about
to get
you.
everything kind of all incorporated before even that goes in?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, that's going to be the final ingredient. We're going to drizzle that on. Just another layer of flavor.
Okay.
And like I said, this is going to be, even the slaw can accompany a lot of things. You can serve it with pork. You can serve it with, you know, different types of fish. It's a great, healthy side if you want it to be. Of course, today it's going to sit on our coconut crusted grouper. Ooh. But yeah.
That's another good one to have just ready and on the side for it. There for so many other things. Pork, you were saying.
Absolutely.
I love it. Slaw, sauce, simple syrup. All done. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to get our grouper going with a little rum ahead of Dinner DeeAs.
Thanks.
Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. We're using rum and a recipe for a very special sandwich today, thanks to David Reyes, the executive chef with Trail Garden and St. Pete Distillery. He's making a coconut crusted grouper sandwich plus a salad with a yuzu vinaigrette and an end of summer cocktail. Before the break, we started a simple syrup that we're going to need for the cocktail, dissolving sugar into hot water and adding dried hibiscus and cinnamon sticks, which we took off the heat and left to steep. Then we made a tartar sauce combining mayonnaise, dill pickles, capers, shallots, scallions, lemon juice, hot sauce, Dijon mustard, and a little salt and pepper. Finally, we put together a slaw with pineapple, Brussels sprouts, onions, rice wine vinegar, the homemade tartar sauce that we just made, and a little honey. And so those were already done. We've let everything steep over here, but we just can't just start pouring this and just start making drinks just yet.
Of course not, no.
Okay.
The next thing we do is strain it.
Okay.
And as soon as we strain it, we could set it aside in the fridge. That would be best because that drink is much better cold.
Okay.
So once we do that and set that aside into the fridge.
How long could this, do we want this to stay in the fridge for?
Oh gosh, I mean, as long as it's cool, it's good.
Okay.
I mean, you're gonna pour it over ice, so it really, you don't, if you need to go and make this drink, you can make it right away.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so then what do we need to do next?
So the next thing we need to do is put together the tempura batter. And this is very purposeful. So we're gonna use water instead of soda water.
Okay.
We're looking for a very thin crust, a very crispy crust.
So what does that mean in terms of like saying, hey, instead of soda water, with the water, how and what will that do with that crust then?
So to leave it a little thinner.
Okay.
And this is on purpose. You want a nice crispy crust. The other thing that we're gonna use is the coconut flavored rum.
Okay.
This is going, it has a lower evaporation point than water.
Okay.
So not only is it gonna lend flavor, the coconut flavor, but it's also going to leave it crispier.
Okay, because like you hear sometimes when you're talking about tempura, it's a beer batter tempura, and so you've got that carbonation, all that effervescence that you're getting away from with having water instead of the club soda. You're getting now away from with the rum to having that beer, but the flavor is going to be changing, and that consistency of that batter will also change.
Exactly. And so we're just going to add a little bit of salt to this to help kind of bring out the natural flavors in that rum, and a little bit of pepper. We're going to whisk it up, and what we're looking for is a cake batter consistency, not too thin, not too thick.
Okay.
You definitely want to work out the lumps, and once we get this done, we're going to go with a dry, wet, dry technique.
Okay.
And once you have everything battered up, we put it in the fryer and then start building a sandwich.
And you can smell that rum. Like, you get those hints right there, too.
Yeah, the beauty of this rum made at the St. Pete Distillery is that it uses natural coconut in the process.
Okay.
So you don't get that kind of fake
Sure.
taste that you would on some coconut rums. And so, like I said, dry. And you're going to bat this dry.
And what are we just putting this into right here?
So I'm actually using the tempura batter.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the flour, the tempura flour.
Tempura flour.
Yeah, the same flour that I used in the wet batter.
And that's just the tempura flour. There's nothing else that's been added to it. And you can find that at a local grocery store, probably in the ethnic aisle in the Asian section or so?
Typically, yes. And if you can't find it, you can use a self-rising flour and then add in a few more ingredients.
Okay.
Sesame oil is something I'd often suggest.
Cool.
But a simple, this is more about what you don't do. And I love cooking like that.
Okay. So it's a little bit more on that simplicity of that. So
it really is.
Okay, right on.
And so we're going to go into the wet batter.
Okay, so we went dry, wet.
Yep.
And then we're going to go dry here. What are we putting this part into? What's going on here?
So this is 50-50 panko and unsweetened coconut.
Okay, so and this was just plain panko crumbs. There was nothing that was a seasoned blend to it.
No.
Okay.
Again, letting the rum shine.
Yeah.
And that coconut flavor come through. The grouper is already a beautiful product, especially if it comes from here in Florida.
I love that.
And so after this, you can get, if you're preparing a lot of these, you can get it to the point where it just sits in the last step until you're ready to fry everything.
I love it. Now with the coconut, sweetened, unsweetened, what are you looking for? What's easy to find? How to make that part?
I like using an unsweetened coconut.
Okay.
Again, letting the other flavors shine. You're already going to get a lot of coconut out of this. If you can't find unsweetened, sweetened doesn't hurt.
Okay.
You know, it's a matter of preference.
It's just a matter of preference
Yeah.
now. All right.
So we are ready to go.
We love that because to serve up a sandwich like Chef David's for your dinner, grab his recipe at dinnerdeals.com. Just scan the QR code in the corner for a quick way there to read along while you watch. All right. So dry, wet, dry meets oil.
There we go.
All right.
So you always want to put things in oil away from you, right? So we're going to go ahead and put in the first piece. And I like to fry at about 325, 350.
Okay. That's a nice little bit of a range. And we have the candy thermometer to help us know exactly where that's going to hit. And, I mean, do you suggest someone at home having a candy thermometer for these purposes?
The more control, the better, right?
Absolutely.
So,
and what type of oil are we frying this in right now?
a very neutral oil, canola oil.
Okay.
You don't want anything with a lot of flavor. If you get a peanut oil or sesame oil, that's way too much flavor, I think. You know, so we just use a neutral oil. And you're going to fry, if you're at 325, you're going to fry maybe 2 minutes on each side.
Okay.
If you're at 350, about 1.5 minutes on each side.
I love it.
Depending on the thickness.
Depending on the thickness
Right.
of it. Well, our fish fries, we're taking a break, but when we come back, we put it all together and rustle up a little rum cocktail ahead of Dinner Deals. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz. We're bringing together dinner and drinking today as Chef David Reyes joins us from Trail Garden at the St. Pete Distillery with a recipe for a coconut crusted grouper sandwich using, yes, rum in the batter, plus a side salad with a yuzu vinaigrette, and in a moment, an end of summer cocktail. Probably celebrating that rum too.
Oh yeah.
It's gotta be. Because before the break, we strained and chilled our hibiscus cinnamon simple syrup while we got together the batter for the grouper, mixing tempura flour with the rum.
The rum.
Plus water and salt for the crust we combine with coconut flakes and breadcrumbs, dipping our fish first in the tempura flour, then in the batter, and finally giving it a coating of the crust and frying it up during the break. What are we looking for here? How do we know when it's kind of ready?
Well, a nice golden hue is a good indicator that it's been fried enough, and I think we're at that
We're
point
at that
now.
moment here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So once we take these out, we're going to set them over quite a few paper towels. We want to extract as much oil as possible to keep that crispy coat crispy.
Yeah.
That makes the sandwich much more enjoyable. So while you're finishing that, I'm going to start building our vinaigrette.
Okay.
And like any good vinaigrette, you start off with the neutral oil. In this one, we're going to use a yuzu that's been put into a ponzu, actually.
Now, what's yuzu?
It's a Japanese citrus fruit. You're never going to find the fruit itself.
I was going to say, were you out there like squeezing the yuzu for us?
I wish.
Because I was like, yeah, wouldn't that be kind of cool, actually?
Yeah, it would. You're always going to find the juice.
Yeah.
And the more natural the juice, obviously the more expensive. And as always, your local Asian grocery store is a great way to, or a great place to get it.
And what would be the flavor profile of a yuzu? You know,
it's as if a lemon and an orange had a baby.
Okay.
It's really pleasant. It's a different tone of citrus. I love using it, especially in things like a vinaigrette or in a sauce.
So it's a nice burst of the acidity, but it's not going to be that punchiness stuff like the lemon that you would have for it.
Not at all, not at all. So we're going to give this a whisk.
Okay.
And as always, salt and pepper. I do enjoy, much like everything else, a simple vinaigrette.
Okay.
No more than a few ingredients. We added the ginger, the grated ginger.
Okay.
The ponzu, the mustard, and we're going to get ready to make a salad as our accompaniment to our grouper sandwich. And a light dressing.
But you never want to like just let it swim in it. It's just to accentuate the flavors.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, the right lettuce is going to be pleasant enough. In this case, a little bit of mixed green.
I love that.
Right? And of course, taking some heirloom variety cherry tomatoes, cutting them in half. We'll dress it up a little bit. And then I love pickling my own onions. I always advise to do so.
And that's another thing. You could do that in advance. You could have that in the refrigerator. Great shelf life. So in a moment like this, you can pour it back out.
Absolutely.
I love it.
So to finish off the sandwich, I've toasted the bun. We're going to do a little dollop of our homemade tartar sauce. Slice of tomato.
Okay.
We're going to bring over one of our pieces of grouper.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to dress it with our pineapple slaw.
Oh, come on now.
Be generous.
Be generous. Look at how monstrous that looks. That is a beast right there. Look at the height on that. Oh.
That's what you want to finish off with. So that is our grouper sandwich.
That looks absolutely incredible, because to get this fish on your dinner table, grab Chef David's recipe for everything that we've been making at our website, DeeAs.com. Just scan the QR code down there in the corner of the screen. All right, so that is absolutely beautiful. Now, I mean, we were talking dinner and a drink. I mean, the dinner's already kind of done.
Now?
Drink's not.
Now it's for the fun. Now to the fun part.
Now the fun part. Oh, as if we were not already having fun? Come on, man.
So, main ingredient?
Main ingredient.
Ice.
Okay.
This is best served cold.
Okay. Someone's been watching their James Bond there. But we're not doing the martini, shaking, not stirred here.
No.
We're going straight in for the rub. This
right. So to a glass with ice.
Okay.
We're going to go with our syrup. You're going to add about 2 ounces.
Look at the beautiful colors on that, too.
Isn't it?
It's just fun, too, when you just take what would have been just that simple clear, if you were just to have made a simple sugar solution and only just kept sugar and water, but now those notes of the cinnamon, those notes of everything happening over here. I mean, just look at this.
And then finally, our coconut rum.
That hibiscus just brings it together. And then the coconut rum just to kind of just go even more for measure.
Right.
It's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, so you said that this is like an end of summer cocktail. I beg not. This isn't any kind of the day cocktail for it.
I don't disagree.
You bring that out any time of the year for it.
That is ready to go.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh.
That's delicious.
When we get back from the break, it should be 5 o'clock somewhere because we're going to be celebrating it. We're going to taste our dinner or drink ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. Joining me to share a super sandwich idea today has been the award-winning David Reyes, executive chef with Trail Garden and St. Petersburg Distillery, and he's got a recipe which required
rum.
the best stuff. We've been making a coconut crusted grouper sandwich and a side salad with yuzu vinaigrette and a unique end of summer cocktail. My friend.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
Are you up to the challenge right now?
I am up to the challenge.
Let's go. You going sandwich first?
Sandwich first, always.
You have to go sandwich first in this one. All right. You got any techniques? I mean, are you the elbow out and like just go like straight in with it?
I, for some reason, go upside down every single time.
You go upside down?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Okay.
No, nothing to explain.
All right. You go upside down, I'll go top side up, and we'll just meet in the middle for a good bite. Deal?
Deal.
Oh, wow. You were right on the mark by saying the rum and the water, that light tempura batter becoming that glue to that panko and that coconut.
It's nicely crispy, still very flavorful. I love that all the flavors coming together to make a nice little bite there.
What a bite.
Well done. Well done,
Well
sir.
done indeed, my friend. And to just top it all off.
Oh, geez. There's more?
Oh wait, there's more from door number 3. You have a great cocktail too. Because now it's like, just have some fun. The hibiscus, the cinnamon, the rum. Is there anything else someone needs?
What more do you need?
Nothing. You don't. All you need is just the gratitude for having you get back here, my friend.
Thank
This
you.
has been an absolute blast to have you
pleasure.
here. Thanks again to Chef David Reyes. Find out more about Trail Garden and the St. Pete Distillery at dinnerdeas.com, which is where you can grab the recipes for everything we've been making today. I'm Jeff Philbin. Thanks for watching, and see you next time for more Dinner Diaz. This is so good.
There it is.